We are live, I think.
Good.
No, now we're live.
Mm.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the fourth episode, session 4 of our New York Society of Play live game. We still haven't come up with a good name for it yet, but I'm sure we will in retrospect. Give me 1 second to mess with my sound settings here. Great, that should be fine. So let's all do a quick recap of what has happened since last time.
Well, last time I believe we met my sister.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And yeah, anything else there?
You also met some fire.
You also met some fire. Well, you didn't meet the fire. Everyone else did. Zane especially did. You were in the basement with Bimothy.
Yes, I was.
Yeah, and you guys were sort of looking through and perusing all of Lord Elthunder's finest metal wares.
Elthunder!
Elthunder.
Yeah, I am. Oh, yeah, I am. I'm in heaven right now.
So
is Zane. Almost.
oh man,
Very
oh
nearly.
geez.
Sorry,
So, yeah,
sorry. Too soon.
And
then,
Ominari, you were
I'm
disguised, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Are you still in disguise? As
Still in
sort of
disguise, still
Zane's-
coloring.
As Zane's limp body comes crashing out of this room in a cloud of fire and smoke.
Oh yeah, no, that disguise is gone now.
All right, great. So Zane is lying there, motionless. It looks like he's bleeding quite a lot. And
Goodness, the cleric's in the
Agatha,
basement.
with you and Bimothy are downstairs, and you feel the foundations of the building shake tremendously, especially because it's like a stone structure.
That doesn't feel very good.
Bimothy's face goes white as a sheet, and he dashes towards the ground floor.
Oh, I dash as well, then.
Wonderful. So, as you guys come up, you see that the entire ground floor is completely clogged with smoke and ash, and you can smell burning. How are Tunguska and Ominari reacting to all of this?
Rushing up to Zane right away, of course.
All right, great. Now
Make sure he's not dead. Are you dead?
Make sure he's not dead. He's not dead. He is unconscious, and
Answer me.
If we just leave him like that, he will be dead before you know it.
I will attempt to stabilize him if possible.
Oh, old man out of the... Am I up here?
So as you go up there, yes, you and Bimothy both rush over to Zane's side, and Bimothy is just like, oh dear, what do we do? And he says, listen, I knew this day would come. And he looks in the room. He looks over at Lord Elthunder. He's like, oh yes, he is as dead as can be.
No, not yet, he ain't. I say as I just grab him by the shoulders. We're not done with you yet. As I cast Cure Wounds at 3rd level, 15.
Great. So his internal bleeding stops. His external bleeding stops too. He is still passed out. His body needs a bit of time to recuperate and catch up here. Bimothy looks into the drawing room, and he's just like, alas, Lord Elthunder has passed. And then he turns around and he says, don't worry. I know that young Master Zane had nothing to do with this. He's not an insidious person, and certainly not an assassin. And he says, I knew it should have ended this way. I left Leylon in order to get away from Eliza, in order to research the family, because something very funny is going on in that family. He says, please, you must get Zane out of here before the authorities show up. Our family can hardly suffer another scandal. And then he looks over at Ominari, and his jaw just kind of goes slack a little bit, because he did not know that you were here.
Yes. Scandals be darned. Who is responsible for this?
He says, this is your doing, isn't it? I remember you. You were cast out for being for being involved with political assassins. If you wish to gain favor with the family by killing Lady Eliza's new husband and elevating her to the Lady of Leylon, I assure you have another thing coming. Explain yourself.
If I'm responsible for this, it is not directly. And one thing that studying the future has taught me is that the past and the future do not exist, only this moment. And in this moment, I will figure out who did this to Zane.
And he says, so do you have any theories about this? About who might have done this to Zane?
A couple of enemies come into mind.
He says, well, Lord Elthunder was not a particularly popular person. He's one of the Lord's Alliance, and the Lord's Alliance are a conglomerate of mostly rich business owners and nobles who want to protect their own interests through policy. They have been trying to fight a recent tax hike on the wealthy, and they've been getting picked off one by one from an unknown source.
Unknown indeed. That's just how she operates.
And he says, there is a rumor going around that a league of assassins in the city is responsible for these political assassinations. I will stay here and do my best to pin this on them. You need to get Zane out of here as fast as you can so he does not become involved in this mess. And then you hear people yelling on the street. They're like, is that the old Elthunder house? And then one of them is like, must be another assassination. Quick, get the inspector right away. So you hear there's like a bit of a racket going on, and there's like the bells in the bell tower are ringing. He says, it wouldn't be safe for you to walk the streets right now, not with him in that condition. There's a secret tunnel out the basement that leads to Lord Elthunder's favorite watering hole. From there, you must figure out what you are going to do. But you must not stay here.
Very well.
And as he says that, somebody like bangs at the door, and they're just like, "Gray cloaks, open up!" And he says, "Please, now you must go." So,
Can I leave this drawing for Lord Elthunder? I put some blood on it so it's more accurate, but this is what I was doing was a drawing. Maybe this isn't appropriate for the drawing room anymore. Okay, I'll just leave it here. I put it
Not
down
a
next to
drawing
the
room
body.
anymore, bud.
It's a bleeding room.
great. And he's moved on. He's sort of fixing himself up, and he is getting ready to answer the door.
I
And
get
on
the
the other side, they're
Tunguska.
just like, we're the gray cloaks, you say. We're the gray cloaks, we say. If you don't come out, we'll have no choice but to bust the door down and
We
inspect
must-
ourselves.
We must leave in the secret passage. Can you carry Zane for me?
Ah, easy. He's a twig.
All right, I'll cast haste on Tunguska as well as he picks him up.
Woo! Yeah!
Oh, don't worry about me. Us dwarves are made for sprinting.
I'll be right behind you.
This haste is really crazy. It's crazy.
Great.
Yeah.
So, as you guys descend into the ore room or the metalworking room, Agatha, there was you noticed with your sharp dwarven eyes a bit of funny business going on in the stoneworking in the walls here.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Can I make some kind of arcana check upon it, or just my knowledge of stoneworking is telling me, my Scooby sense is telling me something's up?
Your knowledge of stoneworking will allow you to get advantage on an insight check.
Oh, very cool. Plus 3. First one's 6. Second one is 19.
All right. So, as you're sort of tracing your hand along the wall, you find cracks that look to be some sort of secret door. And as you press on them, they slide to the side, and you see a dark, drafty tunnel that has not been used in some time that extends out into the darkness. Now, just as you press your hand against the wall, you hear the door come crashing in on the floor above, and a flood of boots you can hear just sort of pounding the floor above your heads.
Everybody's up there still?
No, everyone,
Or they're all
the
down with
party
me?
is down here.
Oh, okay.
The Gray Cloak and the Inspector, the Gray Cloaks and the Inspector have made their way
Gotcha,
into the
gotcha.
estate.
This seems like the place to be.
So do you guys head on down the,
Yes.
do you
Let's
guys head
go.
on down the passageway?
Let's head down.
Great. It's pitch dark. Who's leading the way?
Who has dark vision?
Dwarves have dark vision.
I could lead. As long as Tunguska can carry, I have some. I can see in the dark a little bit.
I have dark vision, but
Maybe Tunguska, you lead ahead with Zane, and I'll take up the rear.
that sounds like a good idea. Don't touch my rear. He could keep
Oh yeah, I
kind
got
of
dark
goes.
vision.
I think he's
I'm a
talking to
dwarf.
you, Agatha.
Right. So as you guys head into the darkness, right? Do you guys just make haste, or as the door slides behind
Guide
you,
around
do
the
you
dwarf.
Sorry.
I'm kind of guiding the dwarf around. So
Great.
that's what
Now, do you guys take a short rest to allow Zane to recuperate, or do you press onward?
DM, this might be a little bit of shenanigans, but if we take a short rest, can I, because Meldon to Stone is touch, can I touch Zane and put him in the wall so he is at least somewhat safe during a short rest? This is shenanigans.
You would have there's no guarantee you'd be able to get him back out, like full on.
Yeah,
Kitty
that makes
Pryde.
sense. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do it. This was a stretch.
Yeah, I'm going by Kitty
All in
Pryde rules
all.
for this one.
Yeah.
All in all, is he just be another brick
No.
in the wall?
So
Zane would not be happy if he woke up in the wall.
Tunguska's singing
Imagine, yeah.
echoes quite a lot in this enclosed stone space.
Not if I cast silence on him.
Great. So, I'm sorry. So, are you guys taking the short rest, or are you going to press on?
I think it's best if we keep going, honestly.
Okay. Great. So, as you guys make your way down this long straight hall, you eventually come to a fork. There is one fork that looks like it has been often used, and one fork that looks like it has barely ever been used, as in there's like a layer of dust going down this path.
Well, if it's his favorite watering hole, he probably goes down the most frequent one, right?
Stands to reason.
If we get followed, they would most likely go to the path well traveled. So it might be prudent to go to the one less traveled.
Yeah.
I'm having trouble thinking straight though. Agatha, I take your
I
advice.
think if we take the road less traveled, it'll make all the difference. So let's go that way.
Zane, roll a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Constitution for me, that is a -1. Sweet. So that's a 3.
Great. You're having dreams of your time back at the Marshfellow estate. You're dreaming about an argument you once had with your other uncle, Nairomi.
Yes.
And this is an argument that you remember quite well, where he says, "Fool of a boy! If you do not apply yourself to your studies, you will end up like your great uncle, a rapscallion, a hooligan, and an absolute terrible person to be sure, and completely unfit to inherit the family name and stand at the head of the family." He says, "Learn these lessons well, boy, or you'll end up on the street just like him." Now here's the thing. Nairomi has kind of always been extremely strict and almost cruel to you. Sort of the polar opposite to Ominari, who seems to dote on you quite a bit.
Yes.
Yeah. And he was trying to force you to read the family history.
Oh, that thing again? All
That thing
2,000
again.
pages of it?
All 2,146, mind you.
Yes. Ugh.
And now
Well,
I know you haven't read it.
I'm tossing and turning a bit in my uncomfortable sleep on Tunguska's shoulder.
Okay, great.
It's just like, hang in there, boy, hang in there.
So
You're strong. You got
you hear Ominari's voice sort of pervade through your dream saying, hang in there, you're strong, you've got this. And that's enough to sort of rouse you into some sort of bleary half wakefulness.
Am I dead?
Oh no.
Not yet if we keep moving.
Oh, I feel terrible.
You'll
You
look,
look
worse.
worse.
You're gonna be okay.
Hey!
I deserve
Think
that
you owe
one.
me a mead.
All right. So as you guys walk down the path more traveled, you Zane, you feel like it feels like ice water is being poured down your neck. Like you feel an unnerving presence.
Tunguska, I think you're drooling on me or something. Please.
I'm drilling on the other side. No drool on you.
Huh? Can I like look over my shoulder or something?
Yeah, make a perception check.
Cool. All right, +5. That is a 24.
Oh, you see something following you. It's a vague, mildly ethereal human shape.
There's something following us.
You just
Behind
dreamed,
us.
my boy. It's okay. Just rest.
No, I'm so tired. I swear there's something.
Tunguska, what is your AC?
Is a glorious 14.
You drop to a knee. You feel very weak, and it almost feels like an icy hand has gripped your shoulder and is sucking the vitality out of you.
Something's sucking on me. I'm getting sucked.
That is 15 damage.
Super sucking.
Yeah, you drop Zane and you buckle, your knees buckle.
Ooh.
Sorry, Zane. I suck. I'm suck.
Roll a Constitution saving throw, please.
All right, that's +6. 8.
Oh boy. So, you feel yourself getting just mortally weaker. This isn't like a hit. This is somebody sucking out your very life force. Your hit point maximum is temporarily reduced to 49.
Uh-oh.
Oh, good golly.
Mm-hmm. And you hear whispers echoing up and down the stony hall. Now, Ominari and Agatha, Tunguska has come to a complete standstill, and Zane is still kind of hanging off his shoulder.
Knee still. I'm on my knees.
Tunguska, what's the matter with you? I offer him my hand to pull him up.
Everything feels pointless. Get it? I lost hit points, but it's pointless. It just feels cold. Something's wrong. Refrigerate, ice, cold. Somebody gave me the cold shoulder. All right.
Does it feel cold for us too? Are we?
You guys
feeling...
also feel cold, yes. Not like terrible like he does, but quite cold.
Could I tell where it's coming from? Could I look to see what's behind me?
Do you have dark vision?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, roll a perception check.
I have a +0 for that, so hashtag D20. 10.
10.
Could
All
I
right.
also possibly roll a perception check? I have dark vision.
With advantage.
Ooh.
You have dark vision.
Ooh.
Okay.
I love that word. All right, 9. Yeah, 9.
Great. You feel the presence of an angry spirit, but you cannot see it. But being a cleric, you found yourself attuned to the afterlife on more than one occasion.
My favorite. I pull out my holy symbol of Moradin. I'm gonna say, Moradin, you're not gonna believe the day I'm having right now. And I'm going to use my channel divinity, turn undead. They have to make a wisdom saving throw, DC 14.
All right. Very nice. He's gonna roll. So you see this wraith outlined clearly, and the light from your holy symbol is reflecting off of it, and it is recoiling, and vapors of it almost look like they're being sucked in the direction opposite you, but it is standing its ground with some effort, and it lets out a very Lord of the Rings. But oh god, that killed my throat.
Ricola!
Oh, I need one of those. Yeah. So down the way, you at sort of I guess it would be about a quarter mile down the passage now. You hear the stone door slide open once more, and you hear the guard say, "This was recently used. Scour every square inch of this thing you can find. We'll find the culprits, and we'll find Lord Elthunder's murderer."
Oh, they think that's us. Oh.
You hear armored boots tramping down the hallway on the stone. What do you guys do?
Tunguska, get him out of here.
Yeah, run, Tunguska.
I'm okay. I can fight.
You're gonna have to make athletics checks at a disadvantage. This next athletics check at a disadvantage, Tunguska.
Okay.
Can I cast guidance perchance?
You
Oopsie, that's
absolutely
not the
can.
right. That's not the right.
Oh, yeah.
12. And guidance gives me a dexter or something.
An extra D4. It's just a cantrip.
16.
Okay, yeah. You're able to get up and just sort of keep shuffling your way down the hall. Now, are you guys going to stay and hold the line, or are you going with Tunguska?
Old man, I think we should book it. I like our odds, but I think we should book it.
Just keep him safe, Agatha. I got this.
Oh, Minari,
Am I still on
coming with
Tunguska's
us.
shoulders?
You need to get him out of here. He is the heir to our family.
oh no, you're coming
His
with us. We're not
destiny.
leaving you behind, old man.
You're gonna have to drag me kicking and screaming, Agatha.
If I have to.
So,
Scratch cut too.
Zane, what was that?
Am I still on Tunguska's shoulders?
You are, but you could get off if you'd like.
I'm all right. I'm just gonna tell Ominari that I'm gonna say I'm strong enough to fight. I can stay with you.
So you have, what is that, 14 hit points right now?
Oh yeah, I was
15.
healed for
15.
15. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
great.
1 point matters.
That 1 point does matter.
It
Now,
does.
Your strength is not in question here, Zane.
now,
You must
Agatha,
not- You must survive this.
Yes.
This wraith is sort of circling around, momentarily satiated by the life force that it drained from Tunguska, but it will hunger again soon, and it will seek another victim.
Yeah, no, I don't have another channel divinity. We really should book it. We really should book it.
I
Not that I'm
grab
not
onto-
confident, but I don't like our odds.
I grab onto Orminari's shoulder now that Zane is off me, and I pick him up over my shoulder and carry him, and we run.
Okay, great. So, everybody who is running, that's going to be, well, Tunguska, you went off first. Zane and Agatha.
I'll take the rear.
Yeah, so Agatha, this wraith is going to try and make an attack of opportunity against you as you flee.
Oh, okay. It's not fun.
13.
Does not hit.
Very good.
Nice.
All right, and Zane, you're the swifter of the two potential prey, so you don't get attacked. When you're running from something dangerous, you don't have to be the fastest, just faster than the person you're running with.
It's true.
Yeah. So, as you guys reach the end of this passageway, you see an elaborate emblem emblazoned on the wall. And Agatha, you can tell that this is the other sort of exit. This is like there's a secret door hidden here in the stonework.
This is stone, or
This
a
is
metal door?
cobblestone. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go through it.
All right, great. Does anybody? Yeah, great. So you press the elaborate crest. It's like blue and gold, and it has like a lion on it and some other small symbols. Actually, Ominari, you recognize the Marshfellow family symbol up there on this coat of arms. What is it? What is the Marshfellow family symbol?
Zane, what we decided this last week, didn't we?
Did we?
I remember that we talked about Elthunder's symbol.
Oh, it was Elfunders. Okay, yep. Marshmallows.
I like to think it's like a weeping willow silhouetted over behind like a full moon.
Oh yeah, that's
Okay,
right.
Yeah.
nice.
Yes, my mind's been going for some time. Yes.
The good old moon and tree. Very
Yeah.
nice. So this door sort of slides open, and you can hear the rowdy banter of a bustling tavern above, and a rickety wooden staircase sort of leads into this atmosphere. So as you guys go up there and you open the door, you find yourselves at the back of a janitor's closet.
Oh.
Yeah. And as you go through there, you find yourselves in the storeroom of the Prancing Stag.
I say we clean up a little bit all the blood on us and the dust on us before we head out there.
Yes,
Prestidigitation ought to help with that.
certainly.
Great. You
It
hear
doesn't
someone.
look like we were going through some dusty tunnels.
you hear someone yelling raucously from the other side of the storeroom, from inside the tavern proper. And he says, "If you ask me, it couldn't have happened to a nicer bloke. Lord Elthunder was as crooked as they come. Do you know what he was trying to do, lads? He was trying to raise taxes on the poor to save his own pockets. Down with him and the rest of that ruddy Lord's Alliance is what I say." And then you hear some smattered cheering and eyes in the tavern. Zane, you know that the Marshmallow family is one component of the Lord's Alliance, which is, just the group of lords and noble families in the Sword Coast that have banded together to protect their own interests against higher powers and lower powers.
Mm.
Yep, y'all rich folk have to stick together.
Right. All right. Well, Ominari, maybe we should try to keep a bit of a low profile in this place.
Yes. I'm feeling somewhat weak, but I could perhaps make you invisible so you could get through here.
I think maybe if we just put cloaks up and try to leave this place as fast as possible. It's best not to use any more of your magic. You look exhausted.
Old school, yes. It's been some time.
Great. So you guys hear the door slam open, and a silence, a hush falls over the tavern. What do you guys do? Do you enter the tavern now? Or do you wait a bit?
I say we wait a bit. That's just me.
Yes, wait a moment.
The door of the tavern slammed open? Oh, yes.
Yes, the door of the
Yeah,
tavern
I want to hear.
slams
I
open.
want to hear what's
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
So,
I can listen.
actually, let's actually put this one to the fans.
Mm.
Hey guys, do we think that they should enter the tavern proper right now, or should they wait a little bit and see what's up?
Uh-oh.
Oh.
See if we get any votes here on the pulse. So that's thumbs up for staying put, thumbs down for heading into the tavern right now.
Be nice.
Waiting on responses. Okay, so it appears that some people would prefer that you head into the tavern now. We'll say that you do it as discreetly as possible.
Excellent.
There is an empty table right next to the door to the storeroom. So you guys are able to just kind of edge your way in, cloaks up, sitting at the table. And you see that the Gray Cloaks have entered the Prancing Stag with a sort of tattered looking man at their head. Let's see, Ominari, actually, I would like for you to roll an insight check because you might just know who this is.
Uh-oh.
All right. Insight. -1. My eyes aren't what they used to be either. 11.
11. Great. So you know by this guy's bearing and just having dealt with law enforcement to varying degrees in your younger years that this man is no mere town guard or a rent-a-cop. This man is an inspector, a very perceptive detective, who is looking to who the nobles dispatch on only the most urgent of cases. And he looks around at everyone. He says, "Oh no, please, as you were. What were you saying about the Lord's Alliance there, my friend?" And he goes up to the very, the very belligerent and loosey-goosey person who was standing atop the table denouncing the Lord's Alliance. And he just looks down at his shoes and he's just like, "Whatever you're looking for and whoever you're looking for, I'm not the one. You've got the wrong person. I've been in the mines all day, and you can ask me and any of my friends here." And then all of his friends just sort of silently nod in agreement. And one of them is just like, "We had just heard about Lord Elthunder's tragic passing just a few minutes ago, my lord." And then he looks at them, he like scrutinizes them, his eyes narrow, and they all sort of recoil away from him for a second. And he nods. And then he looks over to the bartender. He's like, "Lucius, the usual, please." And he goes over to the bar and he sort of dismisses his men to go hang out at another table. So You guys are there at the table. No drinks, no nothing. What do you guys do?
Uh,
I'll inform the
as-
others that he's definitely an inspector.
yeah, I'm definitely silent. I'm very silent. For once, I'm silent.
Think we should try to find a way out of here quietly and quickly.
Yes.
Now, Zane, you're wearing your cloak, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does your cloak have like the brooch for your family seal on it?
It does. Well, I have like a pin that keeps it pinned together that has the
Okay.
seal on it.
And it has the seal on it. Great.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to roll a perception check for the guards.
Ruh-roh.
Uh-oh.
Hmm.
All right, great. So as they sort of spread out, looking around a bit before they converge at their table, one of them walks by the lot of you, and he just sort of nods at you all and keeps moving as the rest of his sort of platoon of guards, all 6 of them, converge at this table and start speaking in hushed voices. Now, as this is happening, the inspector is speaking to Lucius, the barkeep. And he says, I tell you, Lucius, this is the 4th assassination of this kind this week. 4 members of the Lord's Alliance, well, this month, 4 members of the Lord's Alliance have been stricken down, and I intend to get to the bottom of it. He says, for a while I had this keyed on the Bregan Darth. Those no good assassins, but this last one was not their usual MO. This is not how they kill. Heck, I don't know if any of them could even conjure fire magic that's strong. And as he says that, he's like, wait, fire. Lucius, is something burning? Lucius is like, no, Inspector. He says, I think I'll take a walk around the bar.
I'd like to
And-
cast minor illusion as discreetly as I can under the table using my somatic and fleece, and try to make the
Nice.
sound of a scream just outside the tavern door of a young woman saying, "Oh no, he's dead, he's dead." But in a young woman's voice, not like mine.
Great. Roll a stealth
Uh,
check.
Yes, stealth. Not bad. +3.
I think I want to do something too.
Yeah, what do you
Oh,
want to
bad. Very bad.
This is a
5.
dingy bar, I'm assuming.
do?
Dingy.
Yes.
Is it dirty? Are there?
It's actually no. It's actually not dingy. It's one of the nicer establishments in Neverwinter.
Oh,
Fitting of Lord Elthunder.
Stretch. Is there any? Are there any? Are the tankards metal?
Some are metal,
is-
some are pewter.
Okay, because I wanted to use heat metal on one of the tankards on any surface that might be wooden, so it can make some kind of charred smell. So it'll get us off their get
Hmm.
them off our trails. This is a stretch, huge stretch.
Nice. Okay. So the person who was sort of soapboxing before and bad-mouthing the Lord's Alliance has a metal tankard.
Oh, I don't want to
Mm.
him.
Uh,
No,
yeah,
I'm good. I don't want to
There-
put him in jail.
There are others too.
Okay, yeah,
Uh,
I just want to put it on a tankard or something that's not too nearby to someone, but something that'll burn the table a bit, so it seems like there is the smell of singe nearby.
Okay, great. Now, as this happens, you see the inspector's nose perk up a little bit, and he turns over towards the tankard, which is sort of enveloped in smoke at this point because it's burning the wood upon which it is resting.
Oh, right. That
Mhm,
thought
Now-
I could do it more subtly.
mhm. The inspector sort of saunters over to it, puts on a leather glove, and he appears to be sort of inspecting it. What's up, Tunguska?
I pull up my bagpipes. And I slowly make my way away from our table, and I start playing the song of my people.
Roll a performance check. No
Okay.
advantage. It's been a shaky day.
Yeah. Not so good. 8.
Great. You start playing, and a groan arises from the guards table. And
I
the
keep walking away
inspector-
from the table. At least their attention is on me, right?
Yes, their attention is
Yeah.
absolutely on you.
So I'll just keep kind of making my way kind of around as far from the door as I can kind of get.
Mhm.
So to make a clear path for my compatriots to escape out the door with the attention on me. And they don't like it. I'm just gonna play bagpipes louder. And the song goes like this. Dig if you will, my picture. You and I engage. The kiss, the sweat of my body covers me. Can you, my darling? Can you picture? And I just go from there.
Dun, 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 dun. All right,
And
so
I'm banging on cups. Do 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 do. And it's bad. I mean, it's really, really bad. I forgot the lyrics at one point, but it's definitely drawing attention.
great. So now you know what it sounds like when guards cry.
Oh!
Do the rest of you guys head towards the exit?
Yes.
I'm gonna head a little bit behind him because I'm a dwarf and I'm wearing plate armor.
All right. So I want everyone to make a stealth check as you guys sort of leave the tavern here.
Yep. Oh.
That one.
12.
Yes, I got a nat 1.
Okay, great.
Ah, yes.
Um,
Apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Okay, great.
Mhm.
Uh-oh.
So you got a 1, and I'm sorry. You got what is it? Well, oh, you also got a nat 1.
Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah.
Yes, 2 nat ones.
Okay,
Love it.
great. So,
Oh.
as you guys are about to make it out, you hear a steely voice. Hold it right there. Where do you two think you're going exactly? Do you guys turn around or do you book it?
I'll turn around.
Yeah, me too.
Two? Did I get noticed?
Beg your
Us?
Yes,
pardon.
all three of you.
Us, yeah.
We're just coming out from a nice lunch.
A very nice lunch.
He says, I'm sure. And he looks at your brooch and he says, member of the Lord Alliance, eh?
Oh, this? No, I got this. I found it at a yard sale, just a couple of towns down that way. Why? It doesn't mean anything to you.
He says, you needn't be ashamed, boy. I know many in your house that bear your resemblance quite well.
Ah.
And he looks at Ominari and he says, his eyes narrow for a second and he's just like, never mind. You look like someone I know. They'd be dead by now, just judging by the
Yes.
way they lived. So
Yes.
I have to rule you out as being that person. But if you were that person, I'd show you absolutely no mercy.
And I recognize this man, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah. This guy was this guy was the inspector that put a couple of your best buddies in jail.
Oh, yes. No, he's actually a pretty good man.
You always managed to elude him though when he went after you.
Mm.
Sometimes at the expense of some other people in your outfit.
He probably doesn't recognize me because of my beard.
Yes. He didn't have a
Oh.
beard back then.
Thank goodness.
Bit of a hard thing for a half elf to grow a beard that big.
Yes. It only took 300 years, surprisingly.
Great. So he says, are you aware of the murder that happened earlier today? One of your own, as a matter of fact.
Yes, we're looking for information on that. Any leads?
He says, I don't need you to investigate. I've been set to this task by Lord Neverember himself. You'd better be
Most-
careful. Members of the Lord's Alliance have been dropping like flies in this town recently.
Perhaps I can offer some assistance, sir. Agatha Bagatha, cleric of Moradin. I feel like it's my responsible duty to help if somebody has been hurt in some kind. Do you have anything that we can lead upon so at least I can, with my need for righteousness, I guess, please figure out what's going on?
So he looks to you and he says, yes, I'm sure. From Gauntlgrim, yeah?
Oh yeah, how'd you know?
Oh, well, I can tell by the fashion of your beard.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Oh, that's smart. It's clever.
Yes. And then he sort of like, he's sniffing. He's just like, I can't help but feel that something is still burning. Lucius, did you put out that conspicuously hot mug? And he's just like, aye, Inspector, I did just that.
Perhaps it's because I've been in the forge all day.
Ah, yes. Perhaps.
And he looks at your hands and he looks at like the soot on your face and he says, yes, that checks out. And he says, where are you staying, young Lord Marshmallow?
Oh, I'm staying with my sister.
And he's like, ah, I see. He says, I only ask because there's something I need you to do for me.
What's that?
Well, at the scene of the crime, I took into custody someone who looks quite a lot like your sister's retainer, has quite a ridiculous name, Bimothy. He says, could you perhaps confirm that this is not the Timothy that has served your family for over 300 years?
I could not confirm that for you.
Well, that's why I'll need you to come down to the stockades and see him for yourself and either confirm or deny whether this person is of your house.
I look to Ominari and I guess
The nod.
we could do that. Sure, if that's what it takes.
He says, I'll only be needing the two of you. You two, enjoy your night. You and the bagpiping decoy over there.
Oh, I'm on fire. Hey, little Lork, is your daddy home?
Oh, we
Hey,
don't
I'll
like him, but
leave
this
you
guy's
all
cool.
alone. Hey,
We don't
got a
like him,
bad
but he's cool.
design?
Does, yeah.
So he nods to Agatha and Tunguska, and then he beckons for Ominari and Zane to follow him. It's begun to snow. It's evening time. Sort of like a light powder is falling on the city of Neverwinter, ironically enough.
Well, we'll catch up with you soon. We'll make sure this is quick.
And then he says, don't make promises you can't keep, my young lordling.
Well,
Well, we plan to cooperate. I'm sure it won't take much time at all.
Great.
yes.
So, Tunguska and Agatha, what do you guys do? Zane and Ominari have gone with the inspector.
Tunguska. It seems like our friends are in the right bit of trouble, aren't they?
Yeah. You want to get a drink?
Hey, that's just what I was thinking.
And, and then you hear and then you hear a voice between you guys and somewhere below, and it's like, oh, I'd love a drink. Thanks for offering. And Flip sort of sidles up to the table between the two
Oh,
of you.
Flip!
Mm,
Oh, they're good.
How's it
buddies.
hanging, homies?
Where? How long have you been here in Neverwinter?
Well, Neverwinter is a happening place. It's a great place for a young rogue like myself to find some good work.
And murder, apparently.
He says, what? No.
No,
Guys.
it's just not you. It's just been a crazy day. You know?
He says, oh, I get it. He says, though while we're on the subject of murder, I have been looking for a very exclusive group of assassins that live in this town. They sent me a bit of an invitation. And if I was part of this prestigious guild of assassins, people wouldn't try and short me out of my rightful earnings anymore. All I'd have to do is flash them the badge and they'd be able to pay up. Easy as pie.
Usually invitations come with addresses to where you're supposed to go.
He says, yes, but not for assassins guilds. They're a little secretive about where they like to hang out, funny enough.
Interesting.
Maybe it's not our job to help you. Maybe that's part of your job. I'm a little angry right now. I'm feeling a little
How
grumpy.
about you tell us where it is, and when we find it, we'll come and get you.
He says, well, I don't know where it is. They gave me like
What's it
this
called?
weird
No,
puzzle
the
on a
clue that you had.
postcard.
Why don't you tell us what clue you had, and then when we find it, we'll come and get you. Great minds work alike, and they work better when you work together.
Show
Apparently,
us
so
the
do ours.
postcard.
He says as he takes out the postcard and puts it on the table. It's a scrambling of letters. It looks to be
Ooh, a word scramble. I love word scrambles. I can't
Oh, I
read, but
hate
I like
word
word
scrambles.
scrambles.
none of you guys can read it. I don't know if any of you guys know this language that it's written in.
I know common, dwarven, celestial, and undercommon.
know orc
Actually,
in common.
yes, it's written in Undercommon.
No way.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
You can actually
Hmm.
tell by the
Hmm.
sort of by the lilt of the cursive that this
That's
was
how they
written,
dot their A's and cross their T's. Yeah.
that it was written in Drow hand.
Oh.
Yes, these are Drow characters. A couple of the characters here and there aren't in regular Undercommon and are exclusive to the Drow dialect. But yeah, it appears to be some sort of cipher, and Flip obviously cannot read Undercommon, so he's pretty lost.
Mm-hmm. If I spent some time with it, is it possible that I could figure this out? Or perhaps if
Yes.
I translated it for Ominari?
Yes,
Okay. Can I
No.
take down a scribbling of it then, at the least?
yes, you can absolutely.
Okay, cool. I
Mhm.
take down a scribbling.
Great. So, Tunguska, what do you think is the next move for this half of the party?
I find a way to get this awful curse off of me that's lowered my hit point max
Mhm.
and get a rest.
Well, you feel quite sleepy.
Yeah, that's it. Sleeping. That's a good thing to go.
Great. Do you just fall asleep at the table, or do you get yourself a room?
A room with
Okay.
two
Yeah.
king-size bed I can shove together so it actually fits.
Nice. All
Yeah, I'll
right.
get myself a room as well. And I might as well get one for Master Ominar, our two other friends. One or two? Do they sleep together in two separate beds, or would they prefer their own room?
Is
I
there
just sit
together.
and
That'll
watch.
be
I
fun
just sit
to
and
watch.
watch him sleep for a while. Yeah. No.
Oh, yeah. Can we get one with a little cot that's next to it?
Just one cot.
Great. Lucius looks at
Two
all
beds
of
would be
you,
great.
and he's like, 3 rooms will be 30 gold for the night.
Oh, we can do that. We can do that.
You know what? It's on me.
Oh, very nice. I was gonna say because I don't have my gold written on this sheet for some reason, so I was hoping. Although I
Where'd my
haven't
gold
spent
go?
it. Where'd my gold go?
And can I get just a little bit of like a little basket of food to take, some bread to take out with me, or some soup? I can eat in my
Absolutely, you
room.
can. Yes.
I'm
The
a
meal
little,
comes with the
sad and
board.
embarrassed about my performance, and it's how
I get
how
two
poorly it
king
was
size.
received.
I get 2 king size ales,
All right.
So what? How much does that cost?
and then 2
of
for
course, with the
him
food?
too. Yeah.
With the food, I'm gonna say that it's all 35 together.
With the room and the food. Okay.
Yeah, with the room and the food.
Paid for with magic hands.
Okay. All right. So, Flip is just like, hey, I'm gonna go out and catch some air. You wanna maybe catch a drink a little bit later tonight, and we can go over that clue?
Oh yeah, totally, buddy.
All right. And he's like, very cool. I want to find a nice dagger. You know, just something with like a skull on the pommel, or
Oh
you know,
yeah, that'll be really edgy.
something real classy like that.
You should try some eyeliner.
Yeah, you know, I was actually going to get these things called parachute pants. They make you look real cool.
Oh, you know, they're all the range and gauntlet.
Gauntle Grim is a Spencer's.
Console Grim. It has a Spencer's. It's next to the Temple of Moradin.
Hot topic. Mhm.
All right, so as you guys are walking down the street with the inspector, Zan and Ominari, he's having you guys walk behind him, and he's sort of leading you to the center of the town, sort of towards the castle, Castle Neverwinter, where criminals are held, and where there's actually an adventurers academy, and you know, last but not least is the seat of Lord Neverember, the sovereign leader of Neverwinter. Yeah. Yeah. So you guys are sort of he's kind of walking in silence. Do you guys make small talk with him? Do you ask him any questions? What's up?
I mean, yeah, I'm definitely just walking behind him, not trying to escape or anything crazy like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you have any leads about who's been doing this? I mean, I'm worried about Master Zane here. They said the word on the street is that the guards are not very effective here, but I'm happy to see find an inspector like yourself.
And he says, my men do just fine, thank you. He says, luckily, our young Lord Marshfellow here is not a prime suspect. From the intel that I've gathered, he was exiled some time ago and is not on speaking terms with his family. Now, of course, this does tie back to your family because your sister was very recently married to this Lord Elthunder. Now, Lord Elthunder was one of the most vocal proponents for raising the taxes on the artisans and working class. So he did not, admittedly, have a small number of enemies. It was actually quite a large number of enemies. So you are a secondary suspect among a sea of secondary suspects.
I'm more worried.
just-
Do you think he's a target?
I do think he could be a target. I think that it would be very dangerous for someone of your station to be in this city right now. And he says, but you're in safe hands as long as you're with me. And he says, what I'm actually looking for is I'm hoping that you will be able to help me identify this person who I found at the scene of the crime and maybe help me get a little bit of information out of them. They've been quite tight-lipped, you see. They haven't said a thing. Now, as you guys are walking, Zane, roll a perception check with advantage for me.
Yep. Okay. Crit. Yeah, crit.
Great. You see a tall elven figure running along the rooftop just beside you guys to your right, and another one to your left. As you look up, they dodge out of line of sight.
I'm going to stop and grab Ominari by the sleeve
Yes,
and
please.
say, I saw two people on those roofs. I have a very bad feeling about this.
I think it's
Do you
time for a
whisper it?
little
you
mage
whisper it,
armor.
Perhaps. Say that again, Ali?
Do you whisper it to him, or do you say
Oh,
it loud
yes.
enough for the inspector to hear?
No, yeah. I grab his sleeve and lean into his ear and whisper this to him.
Great. As no sooner than you finish saying that, the inspector is just like, we're not alone. We must make haste. Hurry. And you guys run down the narrow sort of back street that you're on, right? And a dark cloaked figure jumps down from the building and lands in front of you guys. And another one lands behind you. Great.
Who are you?
And then they say, who we are is none of your concern. And then the inspector's just like, they're members of the Bregan Darth, an order of despicable drow assassins that have a much firmer hold on this city than I would care for them to. They're also the prime suspects in my investigation of who's been targeting the Lord's Alliance. And then they say, ah, yes, you are so inquisitive. And he says, old man, young man, you're free to go. We only care for this inspector here.
Look over at Zane.
What do you intend to do with this, Inspector?
He says, have you ever heard the expression curiosity kills the cat?
Well, I don't think we're going to leave him here alone. I'm going to stand my ground and stand up a little taller.
And the inspector's like, I was half expecting you both to leave me here. And he says,
So was I.
And Ominari, what about you?
Ominari just make sure he casts his mage armor silently with resolve in his eyes as soon as Zane makes it clear that he's not going to run.
Great. Are any of you facing the one that is behind you?
Probably not.
I'll turn to face him just so we're facing both directions.
All right. As you turn to face him, he throws a knife at you from beneath his cloak. Let's see. That's a 15?
I have 16 armor class.
Great. You just barely dodge out of the way. And the other one pulls out a rapier, and they're about to get to the dirty deed. So I'm going to say that it's Zane's turn first, then Ominari, then the inspector.
Okay. Then I'm going to pull out my +1 hand crossbow and take aim and shoot at the one who threw the knife at me.
Okay, great. You can go ahead and make a roll for that.
Okay. 16.
16, great. So you shoot your crossbow at him, but and this is the one that that threw the knife. He tries to throw another knife to counter your crossbow bolt.
Okay.
14. No, your crossbow bolt is much stronger than this projectile thrown from his hand. The knife goes ricocheting off, and it still hits your target. You can go ahead and roll damage.
Very nice. I deal 12 damage. That's max.
All right. He lets out a yell of pain, and he drops down onto one knee. And you see like blue and purple. You see like his blood is a bluish purple color as it drips on the ground on the newly fallen snow. Ominari, what do you do? It seems like this one in the front with the rapier is trying to directly engage the inspector, and it seems like you're kind of being written off a little bit as the least threatening person in this party that they're trying to engage.
I whisper in his ear, just like old times, eh? And I touch him and turn him invisible.
The inspector?
The inspector. Yeah.
And he's just like, you bastard. It was you.
Yes, it's
Right.
me.
And he says, we'll deal with that later.
We'll deal with it later. I
Great.
turn him invisible.
Great. And he says, this will only make me owe you so much. And
You don't owe me a thing. You don't owe me a thing.
Great. He's going to try and stealth on over there with no advantage because newly fallen snow.
Yep.
Great. 19. But he's not trying to be stealthy. He's more just trying to disorient the person in front of him.
Nice.
Yeah, no, his footsteps are very clearly visible on the ground, and he's dodging to the left and to the right. You can see by his footprints. It looks like one of those like cha-cha mats.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the guy is a little bit intimidated. He backs up with his rapier extended, and you hear the sort of flesh-rending sound of his blades, his very unique blades, as they hit the drow. I'm going to make 2 attack rolls for him. Oh, wow. All right. So he only manages to rip this drow's cloak, right? So I'm going to say that now it is the drow's turn to attack. This drow is just like, found you. You wasted your chance, Inspector. And he tries to stab at the inspector. Inspector, however, is sort of like dust on the wind, dodges out of the way. And the one that is facing you, Zane, takes out his rapier and he tries to run towards you. Taking an evasive path so that he doesn't like get shot in the leg or whatever. However, you are going to be able to get an attack of opportunity as he comes toward you.
With the crossbow?
With the crossbow.
Cool. 11.
Okay, great. He jumps at you, attacks with his rapier.
Yep.
15?
15 does not hit.
Great. So we're going to go back to Tunguska and Agatha.
And I'm saying, oh, don't worry about it. They're gonna be fine. It's gonna be a quick in and out. I'm a little surprised that they're late, actually.
Yeah, it's quite a bit later now. They've been gone for some time.
It's been some time. It's a bit late, Tunguska.
I mean, normally I would say we should just run out and see if we can find them. I just don't feel like you really need to. Do you?
Yeah, I know, it's so weird. But you know what? Just in case, I could use a bit of fresh air.
Ooh, could
Yeah.
you roll an intelligence saving throw, Agatha, to see if you could decipher that cipher?
Oh, yes, please. Yeah, I feel like that will have been what I've been working on.
Yeah.
An 11. Oh, saving throw?
11.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Can I
still
try-
11.
With
Can I try?
advantage.
Oh.
Can I try?
Oh, 18.
Do you let him try?
Can I kind of pretend to let him try and let him figure out what it is?
Sure.
Like
Aww.
very gently. Is that a deception check?
Yes.
All right, I have a -2, so
I just
wow,
rolled
that-
a 1.
That hot one.
I rolled an 11 for my deception.
Nah, I didn't notice that you deceived me though. I'm
Oh.
good.
All right, so you guys both try to like
Well,
fumble
either way,
through
we
this
figure
cipher.
it out. Yeah.
Yeah, you do. And you are able to figure out that the headquarters of the Brigand Darth is somewhere in the trade ward. You actually get a specific address that you're able to derive from this. Yes, so it says here that the Brigand Darth are holed up in the basement of the Winged Wyvern. The Winged Wyvern is another tavern in the area on the other side of town from the Prancing Stag.
All right. Great. Great. I tell Tunguska this.
Now, are you guys gonna go find Flip first? Are you gonna look for your friends? Are you just gonna go?
I think it's more important for us to find our friends first.
Yeah, I agree. I'm feeling a little bad. I didn't follow him to begin with. So
You
I
know,
should've followed them to
what
begin
can we?
with.
We had to. There was so much mead that needed to be drank after today.
Okay.
true.
So, do you guys leave the tavern now, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, generally, I mean, we don't know what direction. Oh, they were heading to the stockade, so I guess we'll walk in the general direction of the stockade.
How
Although,
are
to
you-
be truth, I don't
okay.
know Neverwinter.
You don't know Neverwinter that well, no. You don't really know where the stockades are. You could ask for directions. Are there any other ways you think we could find our friends?
I guess the first thing that we'll do is ask for directions, just so we can start heading in the right direction.
All right. Do you ask
Do we get
someone on the
do
street?
we get a short rest out of this?
You do, yes.
Okay.
And Ryan, your HP has gone back to normal.
Yoo-hoo!
You're looking better already.
There you go. Thank you.
All right. So who do you guys ask for directions here?
I'll ask the bartender.
Okay. So Lucius sort of raises his eyebrow at you, and he says, the inspector won't be happy if I give other people information that will allow you to meddle in his affairs.
Oh,
And
it's
then-
just merely the stockade.
And he says, well, I suppose that is more along the line of giving directions. And then he gives you the directions to the stockades. The stockades are, sort of right near the castle, and the castle is very visible from about any point in the town, because it
Oh, you
looms
head to the
over
big point.
the city,
Yeah,
the
the big
skyline.
point that's right there.
Great. Let's see. As you guys are walking, I would like for Tunguska and Agatha to both make a perception check, please.
Oh, I can do that. 17.
What
Okay.
is the loneliest now?
So as you're walking along, you're noticing that at every turn that you take, there is a set of 3 footprints that is also taking that turn.
Perhaps this is their trail. We're gonna Tunguska, let's keep going. We can't be far.
I got an idea. I use my horn as silent warning.
Oh, hey. Take that
Right.
inspiration, Tunguska.
Thank you. I already got one. I'll
Yeah,
give this- I'll
everyone
give
can
this-
hear that,
Can-
right?
Can I give that to somebody else?
You
since I
can.
already have
Yeah,
my phone.
you can give it to
So,
Agatha.
Agatha, you can have on inspiration point.
Oh, thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
Great.
kindly.
So you guys, the 2 of you, while you're fighting these drow assassins, you hear the very familiar sound of Tunguska's horn of silent alarm.
That's what it sounds like.
Well, we're called for dinner.
Yes. We might miss the appetizer course, I'm afraid.
Yeah,
It
looks
would
like
seem
it.
that your friends are looking for you. What do you guys do? Do you take off? Do you let them know where you are somehow? Do you continue fighting because the fighting is so intense? What do you do?
Minor illusion, loud yodel hoo right back, but just as loud as I can make it.
All right. So you muster as loud a yodel-hoo as your arcane magic will allow. Great. And the two drow jump back in fear that you were casting a spell of some sort. When they see that there was no immediate magical effect, they sort of get back to it. But Agatha, in an alley or like a side street, a little bit off the beaten path, you are able to hear the Yodelehihu in return to Tunguska's.
Tunguska, it's this way. And then we head down the alley.
Great. So as you guys are heading down the alley, you hear a voice behind you. Hey guys, how's it going?
Is that Flip?
The one and only.
Flip,
The
what are
super
you
lovable.
doing here?
He says, well, I was just kind of loitering around until a tasteful time for me to come back and check on your progress. But here you are. You make any progress on that? He's like keeping pace with you guys. He's like running alongside you guys as you're heading into
No,
the...
not yet, Flip, but I'll let you know when I do.
He's like,
I
oh,
did
man,
a really good job, though. I found out a whole bunch of stuff and figured things out. If she didn't have me with her, she wouldn't know what was going on at all. What's the name of this group you guys are trying to join?
Oh, me? The Burger Death, something like that.
Burger Death. Oh, I know that band.
And he's
Really
like,
good.
you guys shouldn't go down that street. That's a good place to get mugged over there.
That's where they are. I go down that
Oh,
street.
yeah, that's where they are. Flip, we'll see you on the flip side.
I've never heard that one before. All right, and he says, I'm not leaving until I get my goddamn answers. And he,
Well,
like,
we're still
follows after
figuring
you.
out your dang answers.
All right, and you shoo him off, and you guys get to this
Get outta here.
alleyway where you find Zane, Ominari, and the inspector facing off against these two assassins. Do you guys sneak up? Do you guys make yourselves known?
Can I stealthily cast or just cast Shield of Faith upon Zane, who's still kind of like a walking, like needs a band-aid?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
hit quietly. They can
So you
hear
get
it. The enemies can't.
Okay.
It's
They know we're
it's
here.
verbal, so they might be able to hear it, but you get a +2 to your AC.
Ah.
All right. I'm going to give these guys disadvantage on their perception to notice that you are there. Okay, great. They are too busy enthralled in their combat with the inspector, Ominari, and Zane. Now it's back to Zane. What would you like to? You both also obviously notice that Agatha and Tunguska are here and ready to back you up, and you also notice that these drow don't notice them. So what do you do, Zane?
So there's still a drow like between us, like between me and Agatha and Tunguska, right?
Yes.
All right. So I guess I'll just try to go up to that guy, and could I try to like grapple him to hold him? So then
Roll an
next time
athletics check.
Tunguska can come and just knock him out or something.
Yeah, roll an athletics check there.
Cool. Athletics, that's +0. So 9.
9. Great. So you try and you try to put this guy in a headlock.
Yeah.
And he knows drow judo.
Oh gosh.
Roll so he like grabs your elbow as you like try and like wrap it around him, and he just like slams you into the wall for a
Ooh.
hot D8 of damage.
Oh, I do not know how to do that.
All right. Now he's sort of facing the other direction, having finished his drow judo flip, and he sees Agatha and Tunguska, and he's just like, Drell, we have company. This has gone sour. And he tries to sort of chuck a smoke bomb at the ground. I'm going to give Ominari a chance to react.
I am going to try to use my mage hand to grab that smoke bomb.
Whoa.
Oh, that's smart as heck. You're going to have to make a dexterity saving throw, though.
Okay,
Not very
so,
high, but...
Dexterity save +3. 8.
All right.
It's been a long day. Okay.
Yeah, so the mage hand has also sort of barreled to the ground with the force of this smoke bomb that's being thrown. And the alley is engulfed in an opaque black smoke. Tunguska, Agatha, what would you guys like to do at this point?
We probably can't see even through. Yeah, we can't see through the dark vision. It's just smoky.
Mhm.
Can I sense where anyone might be around me?
How?
I don't know. Just by I'm flailing about with my limbs, trying to see if I
Tunguska
can
is-
make contact with something.
Tunguska's near you. You actually
Oh.
hear the very familiar sound of climbing feet scraping against stone.
Oh,
Can I try to grab something? Can I
Yes,
try
you
to grab
can.
a leg?
Yes, you
Okay.
may.
How would I do that?
That will mean you like running headlong into the smoke though. You guys are kind of like on the edge of the smoke, still
That's what I
able to
do.
see what's behind, but not in front. Great.
I'm
Make
rushing headlong.
make an
Out of
unarmed
control.
attack with disadvantage.
There's +7 to hit.
Hmm.
Can I frenzy?
Yes.
So-
Yes.
I'm gonna
Oh.
frenzy and give myself a frenzy attack and a reckless attack. So I'll probably cancel out the disadvantage. That be okay?
Yes.
All right. 25.
Ooh.
Nice.
All right. Yeah. You grab hold of an ankle. What do you do?
You ever seen the Avengers when the Hulk gets a hold of Loki?
Oh, like where he does the thing where he's yes.
Doom, doom, doom.
All right. You're gonna have to make a strength check for that.
Nice.
I'm happy to. Let's see here. I'm gonna be a +4.
Mhm.
17.
Great. So you grab this ankle and start flailing it around every which way. And as you do, his body mass and like the wind that is coming from him being swung around is dissipating the smoke quite handily. And as the smoke clears, you see the inspector sort of flickering back into visibility. And the drow just passed out at 0 HP, not in good shape.
I'm not trying to kill him. I just want to knock him out pretty good.
Great. Yeah, the other drow, however, is long gone. He made his way up the building and he's run away at this point. Yeah, what do you guys do? The inspector is sort of cleaning off his blades. He's just like, what a shame. Only managed to nick one of them. And he sheathes them back in his cool inspector's trench coat.
Cool.
Yeah, right. And he walks over to the two of you and he says, well, this does a significant amount to rule you out of the suspect running. However, they are known to work for people with a lot of money, so don't get too comfortable. However, I must say, I thank you for your help.
You know what? We can actually find out the answer to that question now if we really want. Can I wake up the drow in any way?
Let's tie him up first, please.
Mm.
Yeah, make him, yeah, that's a good idea. Would that be a medicine or just cast a good old cure wounds on him?
Cast a cure wounds on him.
Yeah, I'll cast a cure wounds on him. I'll give him a
All right.
cure wounds.
He rouses
yeah.
he rouses into wakefulness and he starts like swearing in undercommon, and then he looks at the inspector and he starts to chuckle a bit.
I just say, hey there in undercommon, and then I'm gonna cast Zone of Truth.
Mhm.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
So that's everyone has to make that save actually. DC 14 charisma save.
Oh boy.
This is gonna be awesome. All right.
Tunguska tells everyone everything.
And then when I was 5,
Tunguska.
when I was 5, I took some bubble gum from the store, and then I brought it and I put it in my sister's hair, and then she told my mom that it was dry. It just goes on.
Oh,
and on.
Moradin forgives you for that. In fact, he actually thinks that's pretty funny. All right. Yeah.
What's the
so,
DC for Zone of Truth?
14. Well, it's 9
Succeeded.
DC. Yeah.
Oh, the inspector is not affected by the zone of truth.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I was just trying to get the drow.
Yeah, but everyone's in the zone
Mhm.
except
Yeah.
for the inspector. Auto's
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
very nice.
Yeah.
Can I, just out of curiosity, can I just give the drow a little punch just to make him a little more compliant?
Sure.
Perhaps give her advantage or give him disadvantage on his saving throw.
punch as soon as
Just
I
one little-
Oh,
cast
no.
it.
No, the drow appears to have fallen into some sort of magically inspired daze.
Oh, well, I'm not very good at talking, so if anybody else wants to try this, but hey there, bud, I say again in Undercommon. And a bit of a pickle, I believe the saying is.
And then he says, I'll never tell you anything. It is the oath of the Bregan Darth not to divulge any details about our employers.
My Moradin's more powerful than your Bregan Darth, so you're gonna be answering to him, bud. And then I look at Zane and Ominari.
Great. And then the inspector comes up behind you. He clears his throat. He's like, do you mind? I'm kind of a professional at this, as luck would have it.
He's broken some of
do we
the
mind?
best liars that I know, so I would say let's let him try.
All right,
Okay.
all right.
So he sort of like sits down cross-legged across from this drow and just looks him in the face for like a good 90 seconds. And he says, so, been busy lately? And then the drow's just like, yes. And he says, is there any connection between you and the murders that have gone on in this town in the last week or two? And he says, yes. And he says, is the Bregan Darth responsible for the murders that have been committed on Lord Elthunder and his cohorts? And after a pause, he says, no, we are not the ones responsible. We may be the executors, but we are not the ones responsible. If you strike us down, they'll just find another outfit of assassins to do the same thing. Doing much of anything to me would be utterly useless in helping to solve your case. Any other fun questions? And basically, the inspector gets up. He says, and he takes a notepad out of his trench coat and he starts sort of scribbling away over in a corner. Does anybody else want to ask this assassin anything?
Yes, I'm just going to walk up to him, and a little bit of my old self kind of comes out, and I slap him twice and then hold his neck against the wall and say, who is responsible? And I change my eyes to make them look almost demonic using my minor illusion.
And then he's just like, please, are you, and then he's like, are you the Omen?
I slap him again and say, never call me that.
And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, sir. I know that you were friends with my boss back in the day. And Lord Net, and then he says Lord Net, and then before he can say what he wants to say, the inspector goes over and just gives him a nice little coup de grace with his jagged blades. And he's just like, don't worry, he's not dead, but I know that we're going to want to keep him in custody for some time. He says, if you don't mind, the stockades are just another quarter mile from here. I think I can take him on my own. I'm much better at traveling unnoticed when I'm by myself.
One thing that Agatha has taught me is that we're stronger together. So we could escort you if you need. I would hate to have the assassins come and steal him from you.
He rolls his eyes and he says, very well. And sort of as you guys are walking along, you can see the drow sort of in half consciousness, and he's mumbling something. However, you're gonna have to get really close to hear what the drow is mumbling.
I would like to. Is it an undercommon, I'm assuming?
No, it's in common.
Oh. What's he saying?
You're gonna have to make a perception check there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's get all up in some personal space. Natural 20!
All right. You can see that he's mouthing the words Lord Neverember. in half consciousness.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Great. So then he just sort of passes out all the way, and you guys walk the inspector to the stockades, and he's just like, thanks again for the assist. Young Lord Neverember, I suggest you don't leave town until we figure out what's going on here. But I also suggest that you protect yourself and go somewhere where you can't get attacked by these clowns.
Well, where would you recommend? Somewhere that's
Well-
safe in the city.
Well, the Prancing Stag has always been favored for not only its decent food, but its security.
I think
My Grey Cloaks actually use that as one of their favorite haunts, and they should be able to protect you quite adequately as long as they're there.
I think
Oh, we got rooms there already. I hope
I
you and
think,
Amanari don't mind sharing.
perhaps I should visit my sister first, though. I'm sure she's in needs some reassurance right now after what has happened.
He says, yes, I'm sure she must be grieving. And he just sort of like looks at you with his very inquisitive, piercing look, and he says, very well. And then he says, but if that's the case, I would like some assurance that you'll be back to aid with this investigation. You are still a bit of a central playing piece, and there's a little bit more that I'd like to ask you once I've gotten more out of this one. Also, I have no further need of your butler, so you should be bringing him back to his home.
Oh, of course.
None.
Well,
After what's transpired tonight, I hardly think that he has any substantial hand in all of this.
I didn't think he did. Well, you have my word as a marsh fellow that I will return after I speak with my sister.
Okay, great. So you guys go down to the stockades. You see Bimothy sort of hunched over dejectedly. He's weeping a bit in the corner. And as he sees you, he's just like, my lord, tell me they didn't get you and arrest you.
No, I'm fine, Bimothy. Thank you. Are you all right?
He says, I am now, sir. I am now. And then he looks towards the inspector. He says, see, this one's innocent. I'm sure you've deduced that by now with your keen skills of deduction. And then he says, yes, I've considered him a fairly inconsequential element in all of the stuff that's at play. So much so that I would like to have him escort you home. And Bimothy is just like, you know, I think I'd be glad to leave this nightmare. I just want to go back to the Marshfellow home, and I just want to forget all of this happened. After this, I feel I shall soon be retiring. I'm just a simple butler. I was not meant for all of this, all of this murder and action. So yes, young Master Zane, I would very much appreciate being taken either to Eliza or to the family home itself.
Yes. I think you should return to the family home. I think Eliza right now perhaps needs some time alone.
And he says, well, as you know, it's quite far, sir. I don't think I'll be able to travel on my own. Would you, I hate to trouble you, but would you do me the honor of escorting me back there?
Me? Well, I don't know if I'm really allowed back quite yet. I think it might stir up some unwanted emotions with my parents if I were to return right now.
Great. They let him out of his cell, and he looks at Ominari, and he says, my dear master, I appear to have misjudged you. Thank you for keeping the young head of household safe. It would seem that all of the things that were written about you by your brother are not so true after all. At least, not now.
I say, no, everything he wrote is true. But I am living proof that people can change. And if it's the last thing I do, I will protect Zane and I will pass that lesson on to him.
And he says, well, it would seem that a lot is changing in the Marshfellow household currently.
Yes.
And he says, Lord Eliza has risen to a new position as the Lady of Leyland, and your father, Zane, is growing weaker by the day. That's why I came here to research the history of the family outside of prying eyes, the eyes of your sister and your great uncle. However, it's not safe for me here anymore. And it's not safe for you here right now either, unless you're keen on fighting off whatever it was that you got, these terrible death burgers.
Yes, they are not pleasant.
Yes.
Great. So as Bimothy gets released, are you guys just gonna like sort of let him go on his way?
Yeah, I'm gonna give him. I'll give him like 300 gold and some rations. And I'll tell him. Send a letter to me as soon as you go where you're going. As of right now, as of this very moment, I pronounce you retired. Please enjoy the rest of your life as you wish, and thank you for your years of service.
He says, "That's very kind of you, young master. I will be sure to return to my family and share these riches with them. They won't want for anything, I'm sure." So yeah, he sort of just goes off into the snowy distance. And it would seem that the inspector has gone off to process this member of the Bregan Darth and see what more information they can get from him. As it stands, the inspector gave you guys leave to go back to Leyland and, you know, see your sister, but you obviously don't have to do any of that.
Right.
What would you guys like to do? Would you guys like to stay in Neverwinter? Would you like to leave and go somewhere? And if so, where?
I do pull the party aside and I mention making sure that Flip is not around, hopefully. That should I make a perception check for that? Because
No, he's not around. He wouldn't be in the stockades.
All right. Well, I say, I ran into an old friend again, and he conveniently was looking for an assassin's guild, and I show the transcription that was from Undercommon to them, and it says, "I think I found the headquarters of the Bregan Darth."
You're kidding. That's amazing, Agatha.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
And that
Minari.
one class of Undercommon turned out to be pretty handy.
So
Yes,
Minari?
Tunguska. Yes.
Did I hear something? They called you the Omen?
Don't call me that, Tunguska.
What is that?
That's-
What does that mean? That
That's
sounds
not-
really scary and creepy.
I used to be a different person. And Ominari kind of just lowers his head down.
roll an
Listen.
insight. Roll an insight
call
check
me
there,
that.
Aminari.
Insight?
Yeah.
Sure. I think it's -1. 4.
Okay. The name Bregan Darth sounds familiar to you. It rings a bell from your past, but you can't remember quite which one. You have a lot of bells in your past.
Yes.
I
He said it was
tried
an old
to
friend of
reach-
mine.
I
I'll
tried to
admit-
reach for. Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I tried to reach for Aminari's shoulder, and I say metal that's been through the forge goes through fire, and it grows through unimaginable temperature for us at least, and it comes out stronger and turns into something. Old man, you don't have to worry about what you once were.
What happens when the metal's in the forge for too long, though, Agatha?
You know, I guess that doesn't matter too much. You know, it still works all the same. It still cuts all the same.
I hope you're right.
I am right.
In your head, you're thinking, when it's been in the forge too long, it snaps.
Yeah, baby. That's exactly what I'm thinking.
The end. Perfect ending moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I'm
Perfect
just-
place to end.
Yeah, but I would like to know sort of what your plans are from here. I mean,
Yeah, there's so many things we could do.
there are so many things.
We could go and look up this place ourselves. We could go back to Liza.
I definitely have some questions to ask Eliza for sure.
I really
Yeah,
enjoyed.
she's becoming a suspect in my mind a little bit now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed smacking Drow around. That was fun.
Oh yeah.
I want to find more of those to play with.
Things
so.
to smack. Just things to
Mhm.
smack in general.
No, your drow specifically.
Mm.
They were fun.
Well, I found a tavern basement full of drow, so
Oh.
So is
Yeah,
that two? Is that two for the Bregendarth?
I mean, I'm gonna follow Zane where he goes. So
yeah, I've been following the Master Marshmallows for the time being.
We could do that first, and then go, and then speak to Eliza afterwards. We could probably get a little more information out of these drow to begin with, anyways.
Seems like there's
Investigate,
quite a
investigate,
pickle in your
investigate,
family, so we should
investigate.
solve it.
Investigate.
All right, so you guys head over to the domicile of the Bregendarth, the notorious and not super secretive drow assassination syndicate that
Hmm.
operates not only out of the Underdark but all of the major cities in Faerun. So, but this is the headquarters where the leader hangs out. So, yeah, I think we're going to pick up from there next week, going into the Viper's Den.
Sweet.
And yeah, guys, thank you for being awesome players.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for being an awesome DM.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Exactly.
I'm still trying to sort out all of the layers of the 7-layer burrito we're working with.
Oh yeah.
We keep finding new ones as we get bites. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, so I'm gonna take us off now. Everyone, wave goodbye to the people who are watching,
Thanks, guys.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
and we're offline.